I don't think this will come as a surprise to anyone, but the turf at Veterans Stadium was awful. I could make multiple videos of things that happened at the Vet because of the turf. There was the time that the turf was so bad that a preseason game got canceled. There was Michael Irvin's career-ending injury. There was Cade McNown separating his shoulder on the turf. There was Wendell Davis getting injured on the turf. It's not a secret. Nobody liked the turf at Veterans Stadium. It was voted the worst playing surface in the league, and Hall of Fame running back Emmitt Smith said, "I'd rather play in mud." But when people talk about the turf, they usually talk about the aforementioned moments. They don't talk about this one. During a 1998 game between the Philadelphia Eagles and Washington, the Eagles had a home field advantage unlike anything else out there. Philly got a huge boost in all of the momentum, not because of something that one of their players did, but because of something that the turf did. This is the story behind the most bizarre sack in NFL history. Here's some brief context before I show the play in question. It's October 11th, 1998, and it's an NFC East game between the Philadelphia Eagles and Washington. And this is a game. Someone's gotta win, I guess. Both teams are 0-5, their season's already over. This game is being dubbed by fans as the Bagel Bowl and the Ofer Bowl. It was that bad. In fact, it was so bad that when a reporter asked Eagles quarterback Troy Vincent after the game about the win and whether this could turn the tide, Vincent responded by saying, "Let's be realistic, we're 1-5. This game started off real slow. Philadelphia went 3 and out, and Washington followed it up with a punt of their own. Then on their second drive, Philadelphia went 3 and out again, leading to this punt by Tom Hutton. After a solid return by Brian Mitchell, which gained a net of just 25 yards, Washington had the ball in Philadelphia territory. 1 first down, and Washington is in field goal range with a chance to get the first points of the game. First down following a penalty, and Trent Green runs for 8 yards. That brings up this 2nd and 7. And what's about to happen next is one of the most bizarre sacks in NFL history. Roll the tape.
2nd and 7 here at the 41. Green nearly stumbled and now falls down. Trent Green had 2 stumbles, a second one pitched him to the turf all the way back at the 45 of Washington.
Well, you talk about an advantage there. I think the Eagle in the middle of the field was the advantage.
Yeah, that's Hollis Thomas. Watch the push he gets here on Corey Raymond. Right up the center, pushes him back. Now Trent Green just trips on his own.
That's not the Eagle Ronnie was talking about. He's talking about that one that's painted on the field. Right there.
Well, you know something? There's a big difference about that, too. Anytime there's paint in the middle of the field, you know from playing on AstroTurf, that is real sticky. That's more sticky than the AstroTurf. If your turf shoe just brushes it, it'll trip you up.
If I could sum up how bad the turf was at Veterans Stadium in one clip, it would be this one right here. Trent Green doesn't get sacked because of something a player did, or because he tripped over his own feet. He got sacked because of the turf. With the logo painted on there, one of the seams in the turf was raised, which caused Green to fall down. Washington head coach Norv Turner said after the game, "You can go to a lot of football games and not see that happen." Eagles defensive tackle Hollis Thomas had a very good career in the NFL, especially for an undrafted guy. He played 14 seasons, 178 games, 136 starts, 9 seasons with the Eagles, and he had 20 sacks in his career. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that of those 20 sacks, this one was the easiest one of his career by a long shot. And as it turns out, this sack was the turning point in the game. Instead of maybe being in 4-down territory and being in a good position to get the first points of the game, they were now in a 3rd and long situation. Trent Green loses the football, and the Eagles recover it. On Philadelphia's second play from scrimmage following the turnover, Philadelphia scores a touchdown on a 19-yard run by Rodney Peete. In a 3-play stretch, Philadelphia flipped the script and had all the momentum on their side, all because of the turf. The Eagles would win the game 17-12, and to the shock of no one, both teams would be bad by the time the season was over, with Philly finishing at 3-13 and Washington finishing 6-10. Toward the end, Veterans Stadium was an atrocious facility for playing games on. The turf looked ugly, the turf injured players, and in the case of Trent Green, the turf had a mind of its own and could sack players as well. Be sure to like this video, ring the notification bell, and subscribe down below if you haven't already, as it helps the channel out a lot. And be sure to check out Twitch every Tuesday night at 9 p.m. Eastern for your chance to play NFL trivia and win cash prizes. Link in the description below. If you want to see videos like this condensed down to 60 seconds, then follow me on TikTok at JaguarGator9 and subscribe to 60 Second NFL History on YouTube. Also, special thanks to all of our Patreon supporters for helping out the channel. Your support is greatly appreciated. See how you can become a patron and request future video topics in the description below.